Wasted Potential, I saw them actually winning them pretty comfortably. It got a little shaky when it came to the Rayquaza situation, but they still had the handle on it. Nothing that they couldn't really control. The Snorlax was pretty much a non-factor overall. You can't really push the Blastoise with Rapid Spin. It's going to be invulnerable, so that's part of the reason why we have that counterplay. So strategies all around from Wasted Potential actually doing a really good job for this first game.
Yeah, and strategies is right. The way that Waste Potential went into that Snorlax with the picks that they chose and those last two picks, they 100% used those last two picks very efficiently to go up against the Serena, to go up against a better crowd control team that they had, and they just mixed it up with, oh, well, you got crowd control. Well, how about we just play with Pokemon that can be immune to it, and they played very, very well, and they played with a Gardevoir that can literally lock all that crowd control into one spot. And then there goes the rest of the team with the massive ults that they did. They definitely played the team fights very well.
Yeah, Mr. Mime stunning with his own Unite move also helps a lot with the setups for the separate areas of effect or AoEs that we were going to see from Wasted Potential. But we do have an opportunity for Supersquirtlesqaud to actually bring this back. Just because at the end, as soon as the other team got Rayquaza, the defense for all of the different I forgot the names of the things. The defense overall from the bases was actually immaculate. I'm just trying to
I
figure
call
it
I
out.
call them goals. I don't know.
How do you
They
call them
have
goals?
so many
What a
war.
goal!
They have so many things. Twitch Cat could probably help us out with that as well.
Bases, goals. Yeah. Okay,
It's
so
so weird.
for clarification, Rhino, this would be a best of three.
Correct. It is a best of three. All matches are best of threes, and right now, Waste Potential has a huge weight on their shoulders of going first game in. We got the jitters out. Now we can just still continuously play our game. And with Squirtlesqaud on the other side is kind of going, all right, well now we have we got all of our jitters out. Let's go and smash them where we know they're at best, right? So maybe they saw something that they can go, ooh, let's rotate to where they were kind of going and match that. Or let's just say, hey, by the way, let's try to secure something else that's going to be on the map that they were securing. So there could be 100% a big like change as far as both teams and where they go.
Definitely going to try to attempt to get more Lacet Pokemon because jungle invading or rather farm denial has was such a big factor when it came to the late game. Wasted Potential was actually dominating the map from the beginning to the end, and most of the levels that were actually trying to get into when they were getting into the fights were actually quite low on the side of Supersquirtlesqaud, whereas Wasted Potential that's had a big differential when it came to playing those team fights effectively. So, what type of composition can you go for? It would seem that Supersquirtlesqaud might have depended a lot on the 1v1 scenarios because most of the Pokemon that they were picking actually can outplay you if you don't know how to use them. Nevertheless, Wasted Potential did have the better team fight. So, what are we going to see for changes here in game two?
Right now, I kind of don't see much of a change as far as you know I wouldn't see bands more changing on the Waste Potential side. I would see a lot of bands changing possibly on the Supersquirtlesqaud and kind of changing something up that they can possibly go, we can play better into something that they had, right? So there could be something that they could easily match up on and play through it. As I'm trying to
Yeah,
get these picks and bans, the picks and bans they are picking right now, I'm just trying to get it to refresh up here on the screen. So just bear with me, chat, and we are hopefully getting to go. And there it is.
are we going in? So, Sableye is going to be the first ban as we saw beforehand, but a little bit of a change of when it came to priorities of banning Wasted Potential actually going for the Dojier this time, and Supersquirtlesqaud doing one of the adaptations that we were talking about before, Rhino actually getting rid of that Gardevoir.
Yeah, and getting rid of that Gardevoir is right. I really feel like that Gardevoir really played more into what they were doing, and As far as what they what Wasted Potential was going up against, it was really interesting to see why Supersquirtlesqaud would ban Gardevoir right away. And I'm
I
just
mean,
refreshing the pages here, and like I said, I'm trying here, chat. Just bear with me. The For some odd reason it is not refreshing on the OBS, so I'm just trying to get that going.
slowly but surely, just little hiccups from the first day of the first season of the UWC League. Thank you all of us for tuning in. Make sure to actually follow the page so you can continue to see these great teams duke it out to become champion in this first season. This is Rhino Gaming and Chopper actually bringing you some stellar commentary for tonight's games as we're getting into game two between Supersquirtlesqaud and Wasted Potential. For those of you who are just tuning in, Wasted Potential actually demonstrating a lot of competition knowledge when it came to the first game and dominating it quite convincingly over Supersquirtlesqaud as we're seeing the bans actually starting to come in from both teams.
Both teams is right, and like I said, I'm sorry, Chad. I'm trying my hardest to make sure that we can see these picks and bans live, and for some odd reason it is not going down. But I'm gonna go ahead and read them off as I see it, and you yourself, I can go ahead and give you I think we already have. You can go and look at the picks and bans as they are doing it live right now too as well. Oh, and there it goes. It goes as refreshes on there with a Greninja ban on Wasted Potential there. That is a huge just like misfire. It's like, oh, Gardevoir, you're gonna ban our Gardevoir. How about we just ban one of your Greninjas as well with the Blissey pick right off the rip.
As soon as you don't see it banned, it is definitely going to be a priority pick. And it makes total sense as well. But Supersquirtlesqaud actually making adjustments this time around, stealing away the Mamoswine and stealing away the Mr. Mime. Both Pokemon that actually gave them a lot of headaches when it came to team fighting. So you already see in the picks and bans, Rhino, three of the Pokemon that were used in the last game are no longer available for Wasted Potential.
Yeah, no longer available is right, and it's kind of interesting to see how teams adapt like this, and if you can adapt to what you're getting like banned up against, it's gonna make you as a player stronger and you as a team stronger because then it's different things that you're gonna be able to learn and how to adapt and play against things. And that's why I always tell people don't be one trick ponies. Don't just play Scyther all day, every day. Try to play multiple different Pokemon as you are like you're gonna have to. Like you're
Damn
literally
right.
just gonna have to.
Damn, Rhino, it seems like you have an agenda against Scyther. What they ever do to you?
Oh man, do you wanna know? It is definitely that Pokemon. I just no. Please
No,
take
no.
it out of ranked right away. Ban it, take it away. I don't want to ever see it again.
I mean, this is like Rhino's reaction when they said they had to ban Scyther. Oh no. Oh well. I guess this has to happen. Oh, unfortunate.
Yeah,
How unfortunate.
unfortunate. And I was so ecstatic to announce it to everybody to make sure we know, like, hey, yeah, we're not allowing this. As these picks are coming in, like I said, I am refreshing the page, but I'm going to go ahead and just start off as, and hopefully that you guys see it in a second. Waste Potential actually went ahead with their next pick and got Snorlax. And
Okay.
Snorlax Azumarill, by the way. So
Oh,
right now they have Blissey, Snorlax, Azumarill on their squad. And right on the other side, as Supersquirtlesqaud banned it last game, they went ahead and picked it up this game. Buzzwole, we're actually going to see some big, fat, muscly bug come into the fray.
okay. So wasted potential going for the Snorlax pick this time around as well as a Zoomerl. And we have Bleezy in play, the best healer in the game right now. They really want to go for those long team fights and just depending on that sustain from Blissey. Buzzwall actually being a trying to get those scenarios again. It seems like how do you think Buzzwell actually fits with actually picking Mime and Mamoswine? Because it feels like maybe the team fighting synergy isn't quite there.
I can see the synergy being actually all the way there. Mime and Mamo
Okay.
themselves together can really make and set up a team fight. And with Buzzwole being able to possibly solo out somebody as they're, looping around or trying to be around them, I feel like Super Squirtle Squad is going in a way of where they want to go, and it's something that they are definitely going to master if they can pick these next two Pokemon correctly. I have a feeling what I want, but it's what I want, and it's possibly not what they are going to choose.
Hey, but just give us the deeds. Give us the
As
deeds.
I'm giving you the D's as they pick it, and they just took their third ban for Super Squirtle Squad, and it is a ban right direct of Blastoise. Taking
Okay.
Blastoise away
Yeah.
from Green ET from last game, it's
Yeah.
Palmer was on
Palmer.
Blastoise,
Yeah,
yeah.
Palmer was on the stories. Yeah.
So taking that away from him and how strong he was on that Pokemon, it's another like personal ban pick, and I'm all there for it. I'm 100% all there for it.
Yeah, and I agree with you. It was definitely a target ban that's needed. Gardevoir didn't feel like a particular target ban towards the Pokemon, whereas it felt like just the Pokemon itself is really strong right now, just to break up that composition of area of effect or AOE. Of a Blastoise, though, that felt personal, especially for Super Squirtle Squad, who pretty much got dominated throughout the entirety of the match. And again, Palmer did such a good job at blast hitting every single Pokemon and just invading the jungle using that rapid spin and water spout in combination to actually get those carries the least amount of level possible. So yeah, I think it's a great ban.
100% great ban. And in the ban on the other side for waste potential was Serena and Serena themselves. That I feel like that's another personal ban, but at the same time, I really don't feel like that was the ban that they should have went for, as they
Okay.
already have Buzzwole, Mr. Mime, and Mamo. They're going to be mainly focusing on like the attacker side, and I feel like that would have been a great opportunity to possibly ban Cinderace.
Yeah, pretty interesting that they do ban the Serena. When they were fighting in Rayquaza, however, the Serena was actually doing a lot of damage to most of the front line from wasted potential. And if it were not for the fact that all the healers were actually banned, I think Serena could actually 1v9 the game if you let them. So I think they just want to make sure that they don't have that possibility, especially when reaching the late game.
Reaching the late game is completely right. And as Super Squirtle Squad goes and opts in, the Psychics of the Psychics, Espeon is going to be joining in for the first time for the league as well. And that's a weird pick. It's definitely going to take this Snorlax and Blissey down, I feel like, with the debuffs that the Espeon has.
Yeah, Espeon, really good Pokemon right now. A little underutilized, I would say. Most of the buffs that they have received, like last season, have really made it a nuisance, especially when paired up with a Slowbro and Lane. It could get pretty nasty. So let's see what they're actually going to be getting countered with as we try to refresh the picks one more time to see if maybe we can get those in.
Yeah, I'm working as bestly as possible, and I have a couple of people trying to help me out in the chat as well. And there we go. There is the picks and bans that are up at live stream. They're telling me not to keep exiting out of it, as I only have two computer screens, so I'm trying to look at everything and making sure I got the game stuff set up as well. So with a Aegislash and Cinderace pick right away from Waste Potential.
Oh my God! Yes, yes,
We're going to
yes.
see the bunny. The
Let's
bunny,
go.
yeah, that is probably why they didn't opt to ban it.
But we're gonna pick it.
They were gonna pick it.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, is Wasted Potential like known for Cinderace, or is it just Cinderace being one of the best junglers in the game overall, just being like a no-brainer?
With Greninja out, I would 100% pick Cinderace. I mean, Cinderace has been probably one of the best junglers since it's released. Like
Mhm.
pretty much. Like I know Grin was there and maybe Gengar was there, but Cinderace in a picks and bans format is definitely 100% there.
It's going to be pretty interesting. There's different compositions that you can run with Cinderace. I would know because I'm a Cinderace main. But like, what is Rapid Fire Scarf, Muscle Bands, and usually Scope Lens is going to be the picks, especially when actually getting Rapid Fire Scarf in the first place. Usually, critical damage emblems are going to be the play. It's going to be interesting what type of different movesets are going to bring out. Most of them actually just go for the Blaze Kick just because you really want to make sure you have that extra mobility instead of using Pyro Ball. Pyro Ball did get buffed, but I don't feel like it was buffed enough for me to actually try to pick it ahead of Blaze Kick, as we see the Gengar actually coming out from Super Squirtlesquaud's side.
Good. So it is updating, and I'm gonna go ahead and let you take it away as I'm trying to set up the lobby.
They're going to go ahead and set up the lobby. So the compositions are as follows: Mamoswine, Mr. Mime, Buzzwole, Espeon, and Gengar from Super Squirtlesquaud. On the Wasted Potential side, we have Blissey, Snorlax, Azumarill, Aegislash, and Cinderace. In a position where Super Squirtlesquaud's pick and ban phase this time around was better, but I would still prefer having Wasted Potential's composition just because we have a Blissey on board. We don't have that many opportunities to actually heal our Pokemon except for maybe Power Swap Mr. Mime. But even that sustain isn't really enough to actually get some stuff going. And Cinderace's mobility can take out pretty important targets such as Espeon, who don't have that much mobility. And Gengar should be able to deal with those 1v1 scenarios pretty well when it comes to different Pokemon. But it feels like you're putting a lot of weight onto Gengar actually hitting their skill shots and Espeon's crowd control to actually connect. Um, so it's going to be, again, pretty interesting. I would still prefer Wasted Potential composition. I don't know what Rhino would think in this scenario.
In this scenario, I don't like the Gengar Espeon pick overall. What their first three strong picks were 100% what they were, which is Mamoswine, Mr. Mime, Buzzwole. But going into the Espeon Gengar, I don't feel like that was the comfort picks that they wanted. I don't I I really feel like there's better picks than Espeon. I feel like you could have went into Cinderace and just would have been able to dominate the Blissey Snorlax. But with Espeon pick, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what the ult can do. But a lot of the ults that are on the Super Squirtlesquaud isn't as big in AOE as far as what Waste Potential has. So Waste Potential definitely has the upper hand. We'll just have to see how well each and every one of these Pokemon can confirm their own and on the other side.
Yeah, and a lot of people to the whole pick and ban format and the layout that you picked out, Rhino, is actually pretty cool, and I believe to be one of the best formats that Pokemon Unite has had in its history, honestly. The whole pick and ban phase scenario is actually mimicking a lot of the situations that we've seen in hand, but we're gonna get right into the game. Too fun to kill. Actually, we're seeing that the Gengar and the Mr. Mime and the Mamoswine actually have a lot of reps in for their respective Pokemons. And let's see what's going to happen here for Game 2. Wasted Potential really wants to close this out versus Super Squirtlesquaud.
Yes, going into game 2 with Waste Potential versus Super Squirtlesquaud, and are we going to finally see a jungle gank? Are we going to get the jungle gank from the Snorlax? And it is looking like we might, and I'm gonna go ahead and watch him as he just flies on over. And let's see what the turtle, not the turtle, oh my god, the Snorlax is going to possibly take this for free. The Mime is not set up. He's gonna go ahead and head back here. Let's see if the Mime can go ahead and stop him.
Yes, Snorlax invade one more time, actually going for the 2v1 scenario, and actually manages to defend him. Snorlax actually has to run away this time, and interrupting or actually delaying the inevitable this time as Swinub actually gets first blood against the single blade.
First blood against the Honage, and I can only imagine what they're feeling with that, because it's going, we're using this against your own little auntie here. It's like, Oh, you had Hone Edge last game. Well, we had Mammal Swine up top too. So let's going to go ahead and see what the birds can do up here in the middle. Doesn't look like there's much. We're going to go ahead and go down bottom as they have a 3v2 down bottom. Easy kill for the Espeon up top as they almost got them in return.
Solid all around.
Solid all the way around. And then there's a kill down bottom with the Buzzwole. There's still down bottom fighting. Yep, Buzzwole died to the Azumarill.
Okay, so Mr. Mime actually running back as soon as possible. They did activate the X speed, get some berry, just making sure to recover the items as they're seeing Espeon actually be starting to wild out Rhino. Moving in with that pressure, the tackle coming out, Dual Blade not really doing much of anything as they continue to get stunned. But now, as I'm saying that, the 2v1 scenario actually playing out to their favor. Heavy Slam actually hitting this time around, and the Piloswine actually forced to run away.
Yep, Piloswine forced to run away is right, and Buzzwole's just getting bullied. Bullied by Real Jess down bottom with the Azumarill as Buzzwole dies for the second time. And then Espeon gets another pick. Gets another pick up top and might get a second kill. Oh, Side Shock gonna get off. Yes, it does, and gets a huge pick while Hunter got the kill on the Cinderace. What a match. What a turnaround this is. Dragon getting away there.
Lechonk doing a really good job of just getting those KOs and getting those levels as soon as possible. Supersquirtlesqaud overall are actually doing a lot better job at getting those wild Pokemon to make sure that the balance of levels actually stays about as equal as possible. And we are seeing a fair advantage when it comes to leveling up 2 Pokemon in level 8 from the Hunter and the Espeon, whereas on the other side now we're seeing Azumarill actually trying to go in, and it's going to be KOs all around, and the base down to 12 points.
Base down to 7 points now with the Azumarill ulting in and getting a huge double kill off the Buzzwole and Mime. I don't like the Buzzwole and Mime being together here with them just getting a free ejective down bottom. With possibly a free ejective up top, it's not getting contended, so a good switch here is very nice as they are putting pressure up top.
Yeah, 3-2 composition. The Piloswine really doing a good job of just being the bodyguard that Espeon needs. We're seeing the Unite move almost doing the job for the
takes the steal and almost gets the huge Bloomer FTW going. Yeah, I got this, boys. I got it on my back. And he was like, nope. Mamoswine goes ahead and just secures it. As there's really nothing going on right now. Right now, I would love to see a lot of aggression coming from the top lane from Supersquirtlesqaud. If they can't get that full-on aggression, I don't see them being able to possibly come back with Real Jess being level 10 now.
Such good level advantage, and the problem that they had in the previous game seems to be already non-existent. They are trying to keep up, as we're seeing. Gengar in trouble, and Unite move was gonna come out by the Azumarill, but giving that to the Cinderace could be a good call. Buzzwole actually getting smoked by the Azumarill one more time as the zone is going to go ahead and get broken. 33 over Dunk.
Yep, that CC immunity from Bridget is just setting up the kills for this Azumarill. I can't ask for a better support that's going to give me every single possibility to get the KOs. Like for you to just set me up, please do. Don't ever walk away from me and Jess is just dunking on everybody here. Being to win that 1v1 against the Buzzwole, such a huge pick.
Yeah, Azumarill doing nasty damage right now. Buzzwole is trying to camp right on the bottom side to see maybe they can steal that objective. As we're seeing a jungle invasions actually going from Supersquirtlesqaud. Regirock is going to go on behalf of Wasted Potential this time around. And I don't know what the Buzzwole is actually waiting for, but the rotations are starting to get in as soon as Regieleki actually respawns.
Yep, I feel like there's probably some frustration going on as far as they're not getting communication going for what the objectives of what they want. So things may be possibly going on that end, but there's a huge off-end score here that's going to basically turn the tides for both teams here.
Okay, as soon as we see the rotations actually come to the fun side, 5 members of Wasted Potential going on top, and defending is going to be the team of Supersquirtlesqaud. Now, Mr. Mime can actually defend the hell out of those zones. So we're seeing a 1v5 scenario this time around, but not going to work at all, as we're seeing that zone actually go in too. So the advantage was from Supersquirtlesqaud, but now it's pretty much a tight game.
Pretty much a tie game indeed, and that's what we wanted to see in the second game, right? Seeing how each team can adapt, and it looks like Supersquirtlesqaud did just that. They did adapt very well, but right now, level difference is definitely going into the way of Real Jess. Real Jess being level 13, highest level in the game as far as right now, and they're just, look at that, just chunking and dominating. They pretty much can go anywhere and everywhere and just heal. As Aegislash is getting just chunked down, and that's a good kill for Gengar. Gets him to level 12 and just trying to catch up to that Azumarill.
Trying to balance it out as soon as possible. That Mr. Mime needs to level up and level up fast. Level 9 Mr. Mime, while they are going to have the Unite move, is still not good enough, especially when fighting against Azumarill, as a great mentioned right now, who has been pretty much on a tear for the second game. And Blissey being such an important tool as well, actually getting those safeguards in and helping hands. And Buzzwell is actually trying to go in, but now Mamoswine is starting to get that backline as often as possible. But the heavy slam gonna set him up to fail. Real Jess doing all the damage as much as he can, and look at that focus band.
Huge late ult by Renax there from the Mamoswine. Looked like they wanted to start a fight, but it did not pay into their favor. They got the objective, but that objective just isn't really doing much. Too fun to kill, might go down. Nope, they're just gonna set up and just possibly just run away from here and just, yeah, get set up for Rayquaza.
Yeah, great Unite move by Cinderace too. That's just trying to steal that objective, and does it so successfully too. Rayquaza is going to be on the helm this time. Going to put those tanks on front. Going to put those carries on the back as we're going into the last few minutes of the match.
Yep, with a minute and 45 seconds left to go, the Espeon's actually looping around. Nope, never mind. Pushes him off. The late ult by the lot of ults going on to the Snorlax here for no reason, and they just take it for free. They got the Rayquaza for free, and just as they were just focusing on the Snorlax. Snorlax is just such a nuisance. If you just try to put too much on him, you're gonna pretty much lose that fight any day with the helping hand from the Blissey just to get to the score a lot quicker. I will say Bridget probably helped out this Azumarill throughout this entire match. So good, so good.
Really good job done by Wasted Potential, as we're seeing the first set of the league play out in a 2-0 fashion. Not quite anything else that the Supersquirtlesqaud can do at this point in time, as we're seeing everybody just getting those heals in, getting those shields, and starting to defend their own zones, hitting the final seconds of the game.
Yep, heading out, and on the final seconds of the game is right. And Azumarill with his first death of the game earlier, which is just fantastic. They played this set very, very well with Boomer on the Blastoise last game, and then on the Azumarill this pick with the Blissey Pocket. It's such a great combo that they had there. I was very surprised that Blissey, like you said, and what you've been saying for a while, is ban it. Ban Blissey, ban Sableye is probably your first two top bans in the game, and then after that, it's pretty much just free smooth sailing. Probably Mamo as well.
Yep, time is up this time around, and I think people are going to start trying to ban Real Jess's Azumarill after this one too. Game number 2 going the way of Wasted Potential, feeling that 2-0 victory for them, as we see Supersquirtlesqaud actually taking the first loss in the league as well. But do not worry, there is still a lot more Pokemon Unite to be played.
A lot of Pokemon Unite indeed, and I can only say my boy Greedent there just staring at you.